Teacher Amanda here with VIPKID, in case you didn't know how to say Amanda. Anyway, I'm here to explain VIPKID's pay structure. I think this is an area of confusion initially when applying, so I wanted to clarify that for you today. So, VIPKID's pay. You've probably seen a range listed somewhere in various, websites or on Facebook where it says make 14 to 22 per hour or 18 to 22 per hour. And you're probably thinking, how do I get to that higher number? Why is there such a big range? And it's a little confusing at first. So I will break it down for you. Let's start with your base pay. Everyone starts out with a base pay between $7 and $9.50 increments. So $7, $7.50, $8, $8.50, or $9. And you can build on this in other ways, which I'll get to. But this is assessed based on your application and off of your interview. There are points given for things like ESL experience or your teaching license or relevant teaching experience. If you come in with 10 years of teaching background and ESL experience, then you are obviously a little bit more qualified for this job than someone like me who didn't have really traditional teaching experience or any ESL experience. I can still do VIPKID, but you can start with a higher base pay if you bring that relevant experience to the table and explain it both in your application and in the interview. Now, remember that this is per class. Base pay refers to per class. In almost anywhere you see on the website with VIPKID, when they discuss pay, they don't discuss it hourly, they discuss it per class. You are an independent contractor and you are working in a unique way where you're booking individual classes. And so they're not paying you hourly, they're paying you per class. That translates to 14 to 18 per hour, and that is just starting out. So there are a lot of other things you can use to build on this. So let's get to it. I'm using $8 as the base pay for just the example for clarity. All right, so if I make $8 per class base pay, after I go through my application and interview and the whole hiring process, this is what I'm given, okay? That translates to 16 per hour. If I finish my classes on time and I finish them as scheduled, essentially, and I show up on time, basically just staying true to your commitment to, be timely as an independent contractor, show up on time and finish the classes on time, where you don't leave early, or dip out halfway through or something. I don't know why someone would do that, but basically, as long as you show up on time and you finish the class, then you will make an additional $1 per class. I have always received that on every class I've ever taught, and I don't say that to brag, I'm just explaining that this is very attainable. So I've never made this lower, just base pay. Minimally, you'll make that extra $1 per class, that's 18 per hour. And then, in addition to that, if you teach 30 classes in the month, then you will make an extra 50 cents per class, which translates to an additional $1 per hour. So that 50 cents per class, you're looking at $9.50 per hour, you're looking at 19. Then, if you teach 45, it goes up another 50 cents per class. And so in this example, I'd be making $10 per class, and that looks weird backwards, $20 per hour. So that's how you get to that 20 per hour, which is really the average for most people. Most people see this number on their paycheck for the month as far as what they've worked and how it all broke down. $20 per hour is the average. It's easily attainable. Show up on time, teach 45 classes, which is like 12 to 13 a week, somewhere in there. And that's very doable. You can just teach like 3 or 4 days, a couple classes each day. And then, in addition to this, you can make even more. If you, for example, book short notice classes, you will make an additional $2 per class for short notice classes. A short notice class is one where you book it 24 hours or less before. So you open up the time slot and you can select to accept 24-hour bookings. And that means you have less than 24 hours notice that you have a class at that time. If you have questions about that, it's a little confusing until you actually get into scheduling classes. But basically, it means you can accept a class at a certain time slot up to an hour before the class start time. There are strategies people use to make more money with VIPKid, where they primarily focus on short notice bookings. So that's where you could make $24 an hour if you really focused on doing a lot of short notice bookings. I haven't used that strategy. I get more comfortable with my regulars, so I stick to more of a $20 an hour type of situation. But this is absolutely attainable as well, and there are additional bonuses. $5 for trial conversions. This just means after you teach a trial class, if your student then decides to stick with VIPKid and starts taking major courses, that'll be a $5 bonus for that. And then referrals, of course. If you refer a friend or post your link online and someone applies with your link and you bring in a new VIPKid teacher, then that's gonna be minimally an extra $80. That's a one-time, but they are in such need of new teachers. They're constantly expanding and making new deals, and the ratio of students to teachers is crazy. I don't have the latest numbers in front of me, but every time I read about it, I'm like, oh, that's why they're still hiring, because they are a growing business. This is very highly desired, and kids need teachers who are available at the times they're available to teach them. So I hope this has helped to clarify a little bit as far as the pay range, why it can vary from 16 to 24 per hour, or there's even other factors that go into that. But basically, it's up to you how much you work. Do you want to hit that 45 classes number so you can get that extra $1 per class? That's up to you. They don't demand that you work a certain number of classes, which I love because I'm a busy mom. I have young kids who need me, and that means I can't always hit certain numbers or attain certain goals. But if I want to challenge myself and earn more, I have the opportunity to do that. So that's a really unique job, that I have those options in front of me, and I can choose that from month to month. So if you have any questions about VIPKid, I do have a Facebook group. It is called VIPKid Help Wanted, like a help wanted ad, because we need more help and we need more teachers all the time. It's a great job. Honestly, working from home before my kids wake up has been a huge blessing. So please feel free to email me. My email is in the comments below as well, and I'd love to help you further.